Hi everyone, welcome to Under the Bodhi Tree with Ariman Hooda. Today I'm here with Manushi Chhillar, Miss World 2017 and India's leading actress. So thank you so much for being on the show, Manushi. It is a pleasure to interview you.
Thank you for having me.
Right. So Manushi, before we begin, I would like to tell you that this show is mainly for the youths out there, the youngsters, the Gen Zs and the millennials, as they call us, high school students and college students. So on that note, Manushi, when you were a teenager in high school, did you ever imagine or dream of becoming Miss World?
Well, actively I did not. I was a very studious kid in school, and I come from a family of doctors, so I always thought I'd grow up to become a doctor myself. But there was always a certain level of interest I had in pageantry. I do remember watching the show in 2013, which was playing live on TV, and I think that sparked a lot of interest.
Yeah.
So I would not say it was a dream growing up, but somewhere when I watched the show, I did feel like this is something I would want to try.
Right. So that's phenomenal, Manushi. And you spoke about studying in medical college, which requires you to qualify for one of the hardest exams in the world. So Manushi, how did being a studious and dedicated student give you an edge over the other candidates in Miss World?
I think, when I went to compete, there were actresses and there were models.
Right.
There were girls who had already won other pageants.
Wow.
So I think your education gives you a lot of confidence.
Right.
It gives you a different perspective towards things, which was quite refreshing. It also when I spoke about confidence, it also comes with the feeling that I have something to add, which no one else does.
Right.
So that was like my USP maybe.
Yeah.
And most importantly, because I was from the medical background, I was so used to having a routine of discipline and focus. So that really helped me during the competition.
Right.
Just being used to working for a certain number of hours and really focusing on something.
Right, that's phenomenal. You can see how Miss World is not just about beauty, it's about other things as well. And we could see your confidence in the last round as well. So Manushi, so why did you were doing medicals, but after Miss World, you switched to your acting career. So what happened to MBBS and becoming a doctor?
So I always thought that I'll give pageantry a try.
Right.
And then it's a 1 year experience, then you
Yeah.
go back. So even if I win, I'll be with them for a year and I'll get a certain experience, I'll get a certain branding, a certain platform, and then go back and finish my studies. The plan was to always finish my bachelor's in medicine and surgery and then do it. Of course, it happened much earlier. I was only in second year of college. And then I think things changed so much in India. You suddenly become this really popular, you've seen it. You're suddenly really popular, everyone's talking about you, everyone wants to know about your life. You lose that anonymity and privacy of a student. And you're a student, you know how important it is to be able to just go to school or go to college without people thinking that you're a celebrity. And I think that's something that I kind of lost after I won Miss World. I did think that I would go back to college, but I remember my mark sheet was all over the internet. I'm glad I scored decent, otherwise it would have been really embarrassing. But so I mean, it was a little bit of that, and then of course I was getting a lot of opportunities in the film industry, and somewhere I made a calculated decision, thinking that okay, me going back to college and doing what I was doing is not going to happen the way it did before I won Miss World. So it would be I would be a little silly thinking that I can have my normal life back again. But at the same time, there are so many opportunities that as an outsider, as someone who's a newcomer to the film industry and has grown up so far away from it, you don't get these kind of opportunities. So somewhere I felt that okay, these are not going to wait for me, I need to utilize them while I figure out the studying bit. Of course, I haven't gone back to my studies. I did try a little bit during the pandemic. But I started working, and I think life has been, life has been really kind to me. I've
Right.
gotten good opportunities, and I've really started to enjoy acting.
Right. Yeah. So that's actually very inspiring, Manashi. How even though you won Miss World, you still wanted to pursue the dream, but you couldn't because of.
Well, I did work really hard to get into
Yeah,
that
I know,
college,
yeah,
so it didn't feel really fair to just leave
Right.
it midway.
Yeah, that's true. So, and you are now one of India's leading Bollywood actresses, and you're currently working with 4 films, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
4 films that are yet to release.
Yeah, right. So, Manushi, could you tell us what is your greatest challenge in Bollywood, and what what has your experience been like with Bollywood?
I think for me, it was starting from zero.
Right.
There was this amazing peak that I had with Miss
Right.
World.
Yeah.
I got to do great things,
Yeah.
and then suddenly I came back and I had to start from level 1, where I
Yeah.
had to literally, I would say level 0 or level negative, because I had to literally figure out what this is about. I didn't grow up around the industry. I didn't grow up thinking I wanted to be an actor. I didn't
Yeah.
study acting.
Yeah.
So for me, it was just figuring it out. Of course, it's a very different industry culturally, as well. So that took a bit of bit of time. So everything did feel like a bit of a challenge, but
Yeah.
the biggest challenge is when you have to wait and when you need to have patience. And this, as a profession, requires a lot of patience.
Yeah.
There's a lot of waiting. There's a lot of films that will not do well. There are a lot of times where you want those fast overnight results, and that's not what really happens in the film industry.
Yeah.
It takes time. It takes time for an audience to kind of get used to you. It takes time for results, and we also had 2 years of a lockdown where theaters were shut. So I think the biggest challenge for me, because I'm so used to moving on to the next step. I remember in school, you give your exams and you're in your next grade. You're preparing for the next set of exams. You get into you're preparing for entrance. You get into college. For me, then I was prepping for Miss India, then Miss World. Things were happening really fast for me, and suddenly everything
Then it
slowed
slowed
down.
down,
Yeah. So I think the one challenge and the one thing that I feel that the film industry has kind of brought into my life is the ability to wait and to have a lot of patience.
Right, so that's very important, Manashi, to have that. And as a young person, I'm very concerned about the environment and the impact it is having on our lives. So, Manashi, what have you done to put like a positive impact on the environment, or just promote environment and sustainability?
I think it's the biggest debate
Right.
today, and I think your generation is really championing the cause. But I'd say in whatever little way that I can, and I'll talk specific to my profession. We are on film sets, and I think, of course, I try to use bottles which you can refill, glass bottles that you can refill,
right.
instead of using
Yeah,
packed
right,
those
right.
little plastic
Right.
bottles of packed water. I think that's one practice that I've followed. I would never, I really try not to use any of those, packed water bottles. I
Right.
feel they do generate a lot of waste
Right.
on set. At the same time, I think as an actor and in the industry that I am, fashion is such a big part of it.
Right.
And as actors, you're expected to come up with a new outfit every single
Yeah.
time. But I repeat a lot, and I believe
Wow.
in sustainability.
Right.
I believe in making conscious choices that way. So I think I have a wonderful stylist who helps me mix and match my clothes, and I think even the fabrics that we try to choose are mostly sustainable.
Yeah, that's incredible, Manushi. Now, for the last question, what is your message to the youths of today?
I think my message to the youth of today would be that dream big, and don't shy away from following those dreams and working really hard to achieve them. And do remember that the process of growing and the process of achieving those dreams is much more fulfilling and much more exciting than actually achieving the dream. So enjoy the climb.
Right, that's incredible, Manushi. Thank you so much for an insightful interview. But before we end the interview, I have a few this or that questions for you. Yeah. So, tea, coffee, or smoothie?
None of the above. I don't drink either.
No, but it's a this or that. You have to choose.
If I have to choose one, maybe tea.
Yeah. Shoot a movie with Tom Cruise or Chris Hemsworth?
Oh my god, this is a tough one. I would say Tom Cruise because he's currently like the hot
Yeah,
topic.
right. Right to privacy or security?
Hmm. They're both so essential.
Right,
I mean, personally, right to privacy.
right. Go without shampoo or toothpaste for the rest of your life.
Oh my god, shampoo probably.
A month without Twitter or Facebook.
A month without Facebook. I don't think anyone uses Facebook as much.
So Musk will be proud of you at this point. Hit the gym or go for a run.
Hit the gym.
Spill food on your clothes or trip over stairs.
Spill food on my clothes.
Right. So thank you so much for the interview, Manushi. It was a pleasure
Thank you.
interviewing you. Thank you.
Thank you.